Oh, look, we can spin these things if we want. Don't know what these do. Nothing. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and today we're hopping into the Mac classic, as you can see here, Myst. Myst is an interactive puzzle game originally released for the Mac, and it was actually the best-selling PC game of all time until The Sims, if you can believe it. So that's pretty impressive. So I thought for a double dose of nostalgia today, we wouldn't just play Myst, but we would actually boot up an old Mac computer. So here you are, soaking all the glorious old school Macness. This is awesome. I love getting the opportunity in this quest to, boot up old-timey computers and see what they looked like back in the day. I haven't seen a Mac like this in years. Although I did play the Sim City on a Mac at one point, but it wasn't this Mac. And I did play Mortal Kombat on a Mac, but it wasn't this Mac. Anyway, Myst here. I'll go ahead and start it up. Did that start? No, here we go. Your Macintosh should be set to 256 colors. All right, continue. Do it. Myst here was a really revolutionary game for the time that it came out. It was a complex and mysterious backstory. You were exploring a deserted island, traveling to different worlds. It was basically the birth of casual games, which is rather interesting. The graphics, by the way, in this game were considered state-of-the-art at the time that it came out, which is going to be hilarious because as we look at it, you'll see it's nothing but a series of stills. It's almost like a animated DVD menu. But this game helped propel the adoption of CD-ROM drives, which were not super common at the time of this game's release, but this game was on CD because it has such advanced videos that it showed. Like these videos, like this kind of blew people's minds when this came out. And here's our backstory.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed. And so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
Boom. So you're a character who tried to destroy a storybook and somehow got sucked into that book. But again, state-of-the-art graphics. There were many, many remakes and ports of this game over the years. I mean, this game also was released on Windows, came out on Amiga, PS1, the failed consoles, the 3DO and the Atari Jaguar. Even the Nintendo DS has a remake of this. And you can get like remake and remastered versions on Steam. In the remakes, often the game has changed from still images to fully 3D environments that you can explore. So it seems a little less primitive, but back in the day, this was like revolutionary, guys. It's an interesting kind of game because I would say that it simultaneously does and does not hold up these days. Like, it doesn't hold up in the sense of, like, the graphics aren't revolutionary anymore, and nobody's impressed by these, like, still images and stuff like that, and these, like, the simple videos and stuff that would have blown people's minds are pretty basic by today's standards. And yet, at the same time, it's kind of a timeless game. It is like playing through an interactive DVD menu, but the puzzles and the game are kind of timeless, and, like, who cares if it's still images? So let's hop in here, and you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But yes, this is the game. So it's a series of still images. You have a little hand, and you just indicate where you want to go. Look, there's birds flying in the horizon there. So the game of Myst is really an exploration game. It's a puzzle game. We can flip this lever. It is a puzzle game, but like when you're thrown into the world, you have no idea what to do. And you just sort of walk around and explore and discover things. Like, for instance, we have a little letter here. Catherine, I've left you a message of utmost importance in the 4 chambers beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on the island into the imager to retrieve the message from Artress. So that was our first clue. So That little switch that we flicked up, we have to go around the island and find more of them. Look, here's one more. We can flick this one. Okay, so that's 2. We have to keep track of all the switches we flicked. Here's a dentist chair if you want to like hop in here. So we can hop in the dentist chair, and then we can look here, and here's a time, some kind of weird calendar or time dilation device. Let's go to 1955. Can we do that? Wait, hold on. We might be able to actually do this. 18, I almost had it. Let's see here. Oh, we totally can. 1955. This is, I'm totally doing this only because it's a date in Back to the Future. What was it? October. It was October. I forget the date. How about October 15th? That might be the date. October 15th, 1955. Let's go, Marty. And nothing. All right, so we'll just go ahead and exit the dental chair then. Very intuitive interface, very simple and basic, but again, the game was about exploration. And so this is one of the first games that I think sort of pulled in a casual gaming audience, because this is the kind of game that like even your dad could play, you know, back in the day. It's funny because nowadays most people's dads are like gamers, like, you know, like me who grew up in the 80s who like played Nintendo and Super Nintendo and stuff. Okay, there's a third one. So when you say like your dad could play a video game, it doesn't have the same gravitas that it did like in the 90s where it was like, yeah, like parents grew up in the 50s. They played like, you know, jacks where they would like bounce the ball and try and scoop up as many jacks as they could. Like, you know, it was sort of like a very primitive version of Pog. And that was what people found interesting. Oh, look, we can spin these things if we want. Don't know what these do. Nothing. We can press this button. Look at that. Look at the interactivity. Yeah, so very, very casual game. You know what? It kind of reminds me of The Witness, the game by the guy who did Braid, which, oh, here's another way to go. Here's our 4th switch, so that's good to know. The Witness is very much like this, where you're on a deserted island, you're kind of exploring puzzles, and you don't have too much guidance, and you just kind of like do whatever you want to do. Oh, look, we can switch this. Do it! Can I move this? I cannot. I can set these numbers. 111, is that the code? That's a terrible password if that was their password. All right, so we've got 4 switches. We're looking for more. And then we need to go do a thing to get a thing. So I don't know how far we're going to get in this game here today. I never played Myst back in the day. I knew about it. Oh, there was a switch back there. We totally just missed it. I totally knew about it. I had friends who had played it. I think that's the 5th one. I totally had friends who had played it, but I just didn't own a Mac. Didn't own a CD-ROM drive for a long time as a kid. So, ooh, look at that. Whoa. This is like the island from Lost, where it has like an underground bunker of some sophistication. Can we do anything here? Like, there's so much to explore. Let's just turn on a bunch of these things. Surely that will only create good things on this island. I just pumped up a bunch of generators. I don't know what they do, but whatever. That's how adventure gamers roll. People who are in adventure games, the gamers, they literally just do stuff. Hey, there's a rocket ship over there without really thinking about the consequences. And I feel like that's what we should do, guys. Okay, so I think five switches is what we found so far. Here's a 6th one. Can we go in here? No, it seems to be locked. Anyway, this was a very unique game for the era that it came out. You know, it did have some backstory, but like not to the same degree that other games would have backstory. It has no discernible goal or objective. You're just kind of like walking around, exploring. And this was a very novel concept. Very few games had this going on back in the day. Where am I supposed to go, anyway? I feel like we've almost sort of reached an impasse in the game already. There's something over there. Oh, look, we can go down here. Oh, look, and we can probably go up this ladder. There we go. You just, anywhere that looks interesting, you can just go. Hey, look. Can we pull this breaker here? You can hear, like, the wind in the background of the beach that we're on. But yeah, there's no enemies, there's no violence, there's no way to die, there's no way to lose. This is a game about taking in the scenery. It's sort of like what parents wanted you to do when you're playing video games. They're like, oh, it's so violent, there's so much stuff exploding on the screen. Can't you just sit there and look at the scenery? And you're like, Mom, I gotta save the princess. But with this, it's like a parent could be like, look at that lovely scenery right here. I'm just gonna take this in for a moment, Johnny. Just gonna breathe it all in. Just think about it. Use my brain for a bit. And I think actually I have read that Myst was used in like educational settings and stuff to teach critical thinking. So, it was almost like the Minecraft of its day. All that said, nobody expected Myst to be a hit. Not even the developers who made it. They were as surprised as anyone that people actually liked this game, which is pretty hilarious. So yeah, this game... Ooh, look at this. Can we pull these? Hey, wait. Go back over here. Back over here. What are these? Can I push this? Hey, that made a beep. You hear that? Okay, I don't know what's happening, but the game is telling me no. Hey, look, books. Give me some books. Oh god, they're all burnt on the inside. How about this one? Green book. I've called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere, there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of tiny, thin wooden passages are built just above the water, disappear into the forest. I assume they were built for some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here too late. I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from the pathway adjacent to the one which I slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. Oh god, maybe you can die in this game. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would never have expected. Oh god, there's a whole book here to read. So, I mean, obviously, this is probably where we get hints and tips of what to do. Reading? Blah. I'm not here to learn. I'm here to, oh god, find burnt up books. Interesting. So there's a little library there. If you are inclined to play this game, I'm sure you can get some cool tips there. As for us, what is this? Here's a page. What happened? Oh my god, there's a video in the book. Is it going to play anything? Oh, do we click it?
Bring me a red page.
Bring me a red page. Here's an interesting bit of trivia about this game. When they were developing the game, they thought that the... oh, look, a map. Oh! Okay, this could be helpful, actually. So that's the dock where we came from. There's stuff... we haven't fully explored over here. I mean, I guess we've seen virtually the whole island. Oh, there's so much to tell you guys. Okay, first of all, going back to the journal for a second, it was talking about different ages. This game is set up into 4 different ages, and I guess it's ages of different time and space, and you, after you complete this island, you teleport to the next age, which is pretty cool. So there's some sort of time travel or space travel type component to this. The other interesting thing is that the videos in this game were considered too demanding to actually run on computers of the era, and so they thought they weren't going to be able to put videos in this game. But during development, Apple QuickTime, the old video playing software, actually was released, and when it was like a godsend to the developers, because that is what allowed them to play videos in this game. So the game runs on QuickTime technology, which is a little dated. Can we get over there? I don't think we can. Yeah, there's a clock over there, but I don't know how accurate it is. So is there really nothing more to explore? I feel like I'm missing something here. I'm just going to go and continue to sort of click on things randomly. Hopefully something kind of works for us. That does nothing. That does nothing. Anyway. Yeah, so no one expected this game to be a hit, not even the developers. But as I said, this was the best-selling PC game of all time for years until The Sims came out. And The Sims was a huge game when it came out. So it's that's how big this game was. This game was so big, Disney wanted to make a Myst-based theme park. Hulu bought the rights to this game and wanted to make a TV show based on it, which I think actually would have been pretty cool, sort of like a Lost-style TV show, only maybe it would actually be good. The ending of Lost was just bad. And Matt Damon actually wanted the Bourne conspiracy video game to be a puzzle game like Myst, And when the developers refused and turned it into a first-person shooter game, he walked away from the project and refused to lend his voice likeness to the game. So, I mean, Myst has been influential, to say the least. And, of course, there's a precursor to casual games. Also, is this a precursor to escape rooms? Right? Like, isn't this kind of an elaborate escape room? If you like escape rooms, you probably would love Myst. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong on that? I think you would. Hey, that boat in the middle, is that sort of like a version of this boat over here? Hold on, let's go back down over here. We kind of walked away from this very quickly. What is this? Oh, there's a secret passage. I knew there had to be something else going on in here. What is this? A pool of water. Look at that, it's animated. QuickTime is being used right now to make this happen. Whoa, what did we do? We made the water evaporate. Okay, I don't know what's happening in this game, but it's fascinating. Oh, look at this. Topographical extrusion test, water turbine. See, this is like the island from Lost. It seems like ancient and mysterious, and yet somehow scientists got here and like ran weird experiments on it and pushed the island out of time and space. Look, there's a ladder right here. Oh, I guess we're climbing out. All right, so there, we just found a secret door. Pretty cool. Can we do anything over here? Oops, I want to sort of get on this, like, sunken boat. I don't think we can. Yep. I imagine in a fully rendered 3D environment, this would be, like, a little more, a little easier to move around. It's, like, surprisingly easy and yet hard to move around in this game. Although the nice thing about this being a pre-rendered environment is that, like, there's only so many places you can go, you know. But if you do miss clicking to the left or right, you might miss a whole screen that had something vitally important for you. Is there anything else that we're missing? So I know that we have to flick these switches up, but then what do we do with the switches? Oh, there's a bird here. I'm going to summon some geese. Let's go ahead and read this note again. What did this note say? Blah, blah, blah. In the forechamber beside the dock, enter the number. The forechamber beside the dock. Well, here's the dock. So that chamber in there, did that have a spot for a message for us? Let us see. I might have missed it. No, that turns us around. Okay, we come down here. Is there anything of value? Wait, what is this again? This is turbulent things. Oh! Okay. I think there were 5 switches. Let's see if that works. 5. Let's do it. Okay, how about 6? I don't remember how many we actually saw. How about 7? This is not changing. The topographical information is not changing. How about 8? No. How about 9? No. Okay, so we've done something wrong. I think we probably haven't found all the switches, is my guess. That is my guess. But yes, a precursor to escape rooms, I say. I say that when you are in an escape room, you are just Myst LARPing. You know, you're like live action role playing this video game. All escape rooms are based on this. I'll go on the record and claim that, even though I have no proof or evidence. But yes, this game was developed by 2 brothers. One was a programmer for a bank at the time, and they were not really gamers, actually. They were interested in Dungeons and Dragons, and they were interested in Zork. They'd played the adventure game Zork. And they found that the most fun thing about computer games was the exploration. So they wanted to make a game totally about exploration. And this is the game that resulted. So there you go. I'm kind of at an impasse. I feel like, I mean, I knew I wouldn't get too far in this game. Hold on a second. You know what? In the interest of just seeing like maybe one puzzle solved, let me quickly look up what the first puzzle is. Yikes. Okay, I went in. At first, I tried to watch like a very quick walkthrough video, but it was like a 30-minute long video, and it was super complicated. I tried skipping ahead a bit to just sort of see what was in there, and like tons of stuff were happening way beyond me. I then looked up a written tutorial, and it says you have to find 8 of these switches and flick them on, and then you have to go back to that pool where we were with the hidden message on the wall, and you have to enter 8. And I have been looking and looking and looking, and 1, 2... I'm pretty sure I don't know where all 8 are. I think I found 5 total. There's a 3rd one. There's a 4th one and a 5th one over there. I'm like, that's it. So I'm like, I honestly just don't know. I just don't know. And I think I would just be fumbling around in the dark to kind of continue looking around here. But again, you know, like the thing with Myst is it's about the exploration, guys. It's not about the success. It's about the journey, you know. It doesn't matter where we... Oh, look at this. Have we been in here? Oh yeah, we totally have been in here. I'm getting disoriented. Anyway, Myst is one of the games in the book, 1,001 video games you must play before you die. I feel like, you know, this has been like a reasonable showcase. I mean, I dropped a lot of Myst trivia on you. I'll claim that's my contribution to Myst here. But yes, even the simplest Myst puzzles beyond me. We did put a red page in a red book, and that summoned a guy in a book, so that was kind of cool. And we found a few like little gizmos and gadgets to play around with. I mean, honestly, if you go to play Myst without a tutorial, this is what your experience is going to be. So I perfectly captured what it's like to first play Myst. So that's my other excuse for, you know, just showcasing the game a little bit. But anyway, oh, and one more thing before I really start sort of signing off here. Can we just say the title, right? Like Myst. That's short for mystery, right? Like, am I crazy? It's short for mystery. I mean, it probably has like a double meaning. Like, I always thought of an island in the mist. Thought that's where Myst came from, or like the mists of time. But it's short for mystery, right? Right? That's my guess, is that they were like, what's your game called? And the two brothers were like, Myst. You know, like they stopped themselves halfway from saying Mystery Island. They're like, I think Myst sounds better. Anyway. Myst, as I say, is one of the games in the book, 1,001 video games you must play before you die. I think if you like escape rooms and you've never played Myst, then you gotta get a copy of Myst right away. You can get the remastered edition on Steam. You don't have to play this on an old Mac like me. The remastered edition gives you the options to free roam or to play in this style. The graphics are significantly upgraded. All the environments are actually rendered in 3D, so there's more interactivity. So, yeah. If you like puzzles and puzzle rooms and stuff like that, Myst, I think, would be right up your alley. I think, like, if you're not into these kind of puzzle things, like, honestly, I'm not really into escape rooms. I'm too stupid. Like, I can't do them. So, if you're like me and you're not very good at these kinds of, like, abstract, complicated puzzles, it might be interesting to go watch somebody play this game, but I don't necessarily think this is a game you must play. But that said, I do agree with it being in the book, because I think this game, being the best-selling PC game of all time until The Sims, definitely warrants a place in history. And, you know, I didn't play this game back in the day, but I knew about it. I knew a lot of people who played it, and... Oh, look at that. What's that? Can we get up there? This is like a new scene. We haven't seen this before. Guess not. I'm hearing like humming in the background. It's like the island is summoning me with its strange mystical powers. But yes, super influential game. What do you guys think of Myst here? Is it a game that you played growing up? Is it a game that you've watched your older brother or your parents play? Is it a game that you've never played and it kind of intrigues you, or it doesn't interest you in any way whatsoever? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, whatever you think of the game, hopefully I have made today slightly entertaining, even though, again, I know I didn't get too far in the game, but I tried to slam as much Myst trivia on you guys as I could. So hopefully you learned a little something. If that is the case, don't forget to like the video and all that stuff, and I will be back soon with yet another game in this ongoing quest to try all the games in the book, 1,001 video games you must play before you die. Until next time, my friends, you all take care, and peace. You know what's kind of funny? I can't figure out how to quit this game. Is there like a Mac shortcut key that I'm unfamiliar with? Escape does nothing. Oh, what the heck? There's a new screen. Okay, it doesn't help me, but we found something new. Okay, how do I quit the game? The island got me, guys. I'm never leaving.